I had no flexibility, no strength, sweaty palms, crazy sweaty palms. Maybe I'm a little bit weird, very weak hands, struggling trying to pull my butt a little bit higher. I looked at other girls that can do everything and I can't, so I'm not strong enough. Hi, my name is Valerie Pole Dance. I'm international pole dance instructor and founder of Allure Flow pole dancing style. With me, you will learn how to dance from zero and become graceful and sensual. When I just started pole dancing, I had no prior dancing background or sport background, or actually, I was a psychologist, I am a psychologist, and I was very far from any physical activity at all. But actually, when I was a kid, I was 6 years old or so, and I remember that I was dreaming to be a ballerina. But I'm kind of from a small town. We didn't have any ballet school, I think, at all. So the dream was impossible. Also, I tried to attend dance classes, like classical dance, gymnastic. Usually, I just took like one class or two classes and then I just gave up. I always felt like I'm not smart enough to remember the sequence of movements. My body wasn't like well coordinated and other stuff. At gymnastic, I remember like I just literally took one class and the vibe there was so off that I just asked my mom like to not continue that. Thank God I have like good parents that listen to me. So sometimes I feel like I wish I had the dancing background, but from other side, I'm thankful to my parents that they listened to me and they didn't push me to do something that I wasn't feeling and wasn't right for me. Like the same with dancing. I remember like I tried to learn like cha-cha steps. I still remember how bad I felt because I wasn't able to even like put together a few movements. But when I'm thinking about that now, I feel like maybe I wasn't a problem. At that moment, I thought I'm a problem. But now I feel like probably not, because a lot depends on the instructor. And if instructor can't show you and can't explain you properly what to do without like pushing on you, without giving you this like stress and environment, like you will not be able to learn. So you have to always find the perfect instructor just for you. Still, in pole dancing, it works completely the same. You have to find the instructor that will perfectly work for you so you can feel comfortable and you can actually learn with way less stress. So, yes, I took like one, two, not even more than two classes of like dance, gymnastic, and stuff. So, in general, like I felt like I'm not physically able to do any of it. I also tried figure skating. I love that, but also like I wasn't doing none of it like professionally or for a long term. And I feel like it actually stops a lot of people to come to the classes because they feel like if they don't have this experience, if their body isn't already like strong, they will not be able to do pole dancing. And I think I'm the best example that can show that it's not true. You can do literally everything if you will really want and if you will dedicate enough time to master any of those skills. When I was a kid, I was super excited to try all of these dance classes because I still remember the girls who did dancing like in school. They always was so, so gorgeous, so beautiful. Even as a kid, I remember perceiving it like that, so confident. And I literally wanted to be a part of that community, to feel the same, like to be the same. And this is why I gave so many chances to different like dance classes. But as I told you, I wasn't successful. Maybe I was just a kid, and when I felt like something isn't working, I just wanted to give up or something. So whatever, it was what it was. But I'm just telling you that yes, I was taking like one class of one like dance style, one class of other dance class. No success, no success. So I had no splits, I had no flexibility, no strength when I came to pole dance classes. So now let's talk about the struggles that I had at the beginning of my pole dancing journey. So, of course, the obvious one is lack of flexibility, lack of strength. Um, my body was kind of, soft and relaxed because I did no sport before, no gym, like nothing at all. And plus, to that moment, I already started to do a lot of like crazy diets and stuff, and I feel like that very badly affected my body, my muscle mass, and in general, I was kind of weak also because of how bad my diet was and how obsessively I wanted to be skinny. So I was eating very poor, and I already can tell that do not do my mistakes. Nutrition is a huge part of your success in pole dancing because you need muscles, you need to grow those muscles, you need to feed yourself to have the energy. But now, not about that. Let's talk about the actual struggles that I had at the beginning. So, strengths, flexibility, sweaty palms, crazy sweaty palms. Also, I was constantly comparing myself to other students in the group. And as we all know, when you're comparing yourself to someone, usually it's not in your advantage. Like, usually you're deciding that you are not good enough and that other person is so much better than you. So, of course, I was doing that. And it was so many other small things, but I definitely can say that those are the main one. Strengths, flexibility, no grip, sweaty palms, and yeah, constant comparison to other people. And I forgot to say one more financial part of pole dancing, because pole dancing is expensive. But I can say that like any dancing is actually pretty expensive when you need to buy costumes, where you need to invest in a lot of like training, side training. It's always expensive. At that moment when I did pole dancing, like when I was a beginner, I was a student. So you clearly can understand that all the time invest in memberships. Plus, I'm from Ukraine, and there we had a different system of membership. So there is no unlimited memberships. You just buy like 6, 8 classes, 12 maximum a month. And to buy like an unlimited membership, you probably have to be like a billionaire. At least it was perceiving like that at this moment. I can say that here in Canada, pole dancing is cheaper compared to the salary, like monthly salary. So yes, and financial part of it also was like a problem. I can say yes, but as I made pole dancing my main scene, it was my main priority. I did, and I spent almost all my money on pole dancing. Now I can tell it was a good investment. At that moment, it felt like maybe I'm a little bit weird that I'm spending so much money on it. Like, but now I have no regrets at that. But at that moment, yes, it wasn't easy. And now I know for sure that financial part and time, if you really want to do something, will not stop you. You will find money, you will find the time, because I still remember how I was coming from my study from the university. My university was in other city, so I had my pole dancing at one city and my university at other city, and it was like 1 hour road for me. And after the classes, sometimes before the classes, I was coming to pole dance studio to practice, to then go to other cities, study. Sometimes I did classes like before university, like not before university, before classes, after classes, just because I love it that much. So I was like, in the end of the day, I was completely dead. But again, the joy that I got from it, maybe like sometimes physically I was exhausted, but mentally and emotionally, I was the happiest person in the world. So it was like this kind of balance that does not have balance, but at that moment it definitely was. So now I just want to say a few words about strength and flexibility. That was my big problem. I wasn't strong at all. I wasn't able to pull myself up. I had very weak hands. Like, now you can't tell, but at that moment, trust me. The same is flexibility, and that was my big problem at the beginning. And I invested a lot of time to my flexibility training and strength training, because other things can come even if you will not dedicate too much time to it. But flexibility and strength, you have to do it. You have to practice. It has to be consistent. So usually I was staying after my pole dancing classes, just like somewhere in the side of the pole room, just to do flexibility and strength training. Sometimes I was just stretching, then I was coming home and doing the same at home. So I actually dedicated a lot of time to flexibility just to finally got my splits and pancake splits. And yes, it takes time. Be ready that if you want to master and get any skills, you have to invest time and money. This is not sad truth, but it's reality and it's okay because at least you know that you can get it. So the same for me. I invested a lot of time for practice. Literally, I was usually taking one, two classes, like two classes. Then I was staying in the side of the pool room and I was just doing flexibility for 1 more hour and then I came home. So this is what actually gave me the result. Of course, it was practice. Another moment that I want to point in terms of flexibility training, I started to attend master classes, some courses that taught me how to stretch properly because not all instructors knows how to do it in a proper way, and if you as a student also don't know what is yes, what is no in flexibility training, you can do a lot of mistakes just by not knowing and by your instructor to not be educated enough so you can pull your muscles. It can be a lot of problems that can slow down your progress a lot. So be careful with it. I still remember how I took my very first flexibility training. It was a few days course, but very intense. And it literally opened my eyes on the way my training should be built. And I understood why I had so many problems with pulled muscles. Just because I was doing it so wrong and instructor was showing it the way she knows and it wasn't the right way. So actually that a little slowed down my progress, but very good thing is to attend master classes, workshops, courses to educate yourself and do not waste your time and do not waste your health. Sometimes we had to pay with something, and it's better to pay with money than with your health or time. So if you can invest some money just to get knowledge about pole dancing, about flexibility, about strength training, that will save you time and that will save your body. So my big thing is to always keep working on yourself and getting new knowledge. It always updates. You always have to learn something and that will affect your training a lot. As I told, I was pretty weak. I still remember how like we were learning invert and all girls in my group already was able to do it like easily and I was like struggling trying to pull my butt a little bit higher, at least a little bit higher. That was a struggle. And I believe for me, comparison with other students came very close to the like strength and flexibility because how I understood that I'm not strong enough, I looked at other girls that can do everything and I can't, so I'm not strong enough. The same is flexibility. I was lucky, and a lot of girls from my group they were ex dancers, so they had crazy flexibility, all of that split, and I was just looking at them like this, like I wish one day I will have it. Spoiler, of course I had, but invest your time in it. Anyway, so yes, I was comparing like constantly to other students that I'm not strong enough. I will not be able to do it as clean as they can, and it was looking like for their body it was so natural to do it. And now I hear all like very often comments from my followers, from my students that when I'm doing something, it looks so easy, like it's super easy for me and natural. It's not. At least it wasn't at the beginning. Maybe now, yes, but the amount of time I spent to practice and to master this easiness and movements, it it took a while. It took a while. So now, yes, and I remember like at the beginning of my pole dancing journey, I was looking at other girls and I was like, wow, I would not be ever able to do it the same easy or the same beautiful. So I spent a lot of time at the beginning comparing myself to other girls. And of course, it's in general usually just brings your mood down and of course it will not help you to progress faster. So you have to be very careful with it. Basically, what helped me to stop comparing myself? A few things that I want to share from my personal experience is one thing, I was a psychologist. At that moment, I already was getting my degree and I was reading a lot of books, I was watching a lot of stuff, lectures. So I kind of was very aware of what is happening in my head, how to deal with it, how to not control it, but how to understand myself better. And that helped me to not pull myself lower compared to other students. And another moment that I just noticed with time that a lot of girls that also like did pole dance and started with me, they actually dropped. They stopped doing pole dancing. And even though they was so amazing, so strong, you stop into practice and of course you're not progressing. And me, who wasn't that amazing in the beginning, I was just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And in the end of the year, in a few years, I was ended up being stronger, knowing more tricks and everything just because I was consistent and I just keep going. That actually showed me a lot that like, oh wow, if you just like keep practicing, you will get there. If you will stop practicing, doesn't matter how good you are, you will not get it. I really want you to hear this thought. I feel like it might help you as well. If you keep going, and it's not only about pole dancing, I believe it's about any activities that you're doing, like anything, like business, studying, like any hobbies. If you keep going, in the end of the day, you will get it. And the people who are like dropping it, doesn't matter how good they are, they will not get anything because they will stop to do it. So only one way to progress and to get what you want is just keep going and being smart, of course, about it. But this is what helped me to understand that if someone is so much better than me right now, it doesn't mean anything. I just have to do my own thing, keep practicing, focus on myself, be happy for my own wins, and just keep going. And it worked. Actually, on how to not compare yourself to other students in the class, I had the entire like 40 minutes lecture. So you can just write in comments how to not compare, and I will send you the link to download that lecture. And when I'm thinking about that time, I literally want to like come to baby me and just like tell her that everything will be amazing. Everything will be that good that you can't even imagine at that moment. And I'm very proud of myself that I was keep doing it. Even when I felt so bad, when I wasn't able to hold the tricks, when I wasn't able to like have that flexibility and other stuff, I kept going. And I'm super proud of that moments. And I'm very proud of myself at my past. So I did it. And why I'm saying that? I want you to be proud of yourself already. If you just start in pole dancing, even the fact that you came to pole dance classes, you already has to be very motivated to kind of still do it, even despite like some mental blocks, some worried about some your own insecurity. So you're already pretty cool. And if this storytelling can help you somehow to keep practicing, to stay motivated, to know that you can reach any of your goals, trust me, at that moment when I started pole dancing, even for the first years, I wasn't even thinking of becoming a teacher. I would never imagine that I will be like international pole instructor. I will do master classes. I will be popular. Never. Someone would tell that to me and I would just not believe. I would just show like, you're probably crazy. No. So this is why I'm just saying, keep practicing. You never know where your passion can lead you to. So believe in yourself. And I just want to tell you that I already believe in you. You can do it. Just keep practicing. Of course, it will not be super easy, but if it would be easy, everyone will be able to do it. So stay motivated, keep practicing, invest your time in it. Do not always wait for fast results. Always think in like long terms. What benefits it will bring you, how it will change your life. Just keep going and kind of a little bit always think about future. Maybe not everything you can see in the exact moment how it will affect your life, but try to look a little bit ahead. So just keep showing up to the classes even if you didn't do a certain move, like whatever. Practice other movements, practice other transitions, and eventually you will get that other move that you were not able to do. And trust me, you will be so proud of yourself. Whew, that feeling definitely worth it. So never be desperate if you didn't do like a certain transition, whatever. You will become stronger and you will do it. You will practice more and you will do it. Sometimes you will sleep and you will do it on the next day. So never give up. Just keep going. And I'll see you in my next videos. If you enjoy watching this video, please put like, subscribe to this channel. It's going to be way more interesting content. So you will learn how to dance, how to become more graceful and elegant, and of course, how to become more strong. So I'll see you in the next episode. Mwah!